let me introduce you to Jan Kuger. Jan is the Executive Director and co-founder of Imagine More, and she's mum to Jack. She's going to be sharing her experiences around previous employment matches and taking those match lessons forward over successive leadership exchanges and into organisational work. So Jan, welcome.
Thank you very much. And thanks for having me and inviting me to share my experience. I'm, yes, Jack to mum, but I'm also the Executive Director of Imagine More here in Canberra. And Imagine More is part of a national alliance of capacity building organisations. And we're very much engaged in the employment space. So naturally, casting my memory back to pre-2019, when I did my first exchange on focusing on employment, we were sort of grappling with how we could be supporting families more around them seeking out sort of meaningful employment for their family member with disability, in particular focusing on people with intellectual disability and autism. The current system, employment services, just were not looking after people in the way that we were hoping for. So I did an exchange with Tash in Washington, DC, with Ruby Moore and Cecily Colson. They were great people to connect with, and just hearing all about their systems change over there, which I didn't know whether that was going to be the approach that we take in Australia, but it was really interesting to hear about how they went about it in the US. But also hearing about how they were working with schools. In particular, that was a focus for us here in Australia, to how we get schools more on board with finding meaningful work experience for students that can then lead to a career for them. Yeah, so it was really great to sort of connect with the other people and participants in the room as well. They came from all around the world. In a lot of them were coming from a service perspective, so we were sort of coming from that family-led perspective, so that was slightly different. But then after that, we kept connected with a lot of the people that we met, in particular Ruby and Cecily, which then sort of informed what our focus might be when we applied for and was successful in getting a grant focusing on school to work with CREW in Queensland and family advocacy in New South Wales. And we then honed our learning around customised employment, because that was the key part of what they did in TASH, was focusing on a customised employment approach. So we've then gone ahead and done a lot more learning around that, and have been working with a lot of families around understanding what customised employment looks like, developing a lot of resources that are sort of helping families navigate their way while they wait for the service system to sort of catch up. We still do that systemic advocacy to help improve the service system so they can be walking alongside young people to get meaningful employment, but that's a work in progress. And then we did another virtual exchange in 2021, and that's where I shared a personal story of my son, Jack, and how we've applied customised employment in helping him find meaningful work. He's 21 now, he's working every afternoon, he's volunteering, and he's studying at CIT. And that's been through the efforts of our family. But we know that not all families have capacity to do this, and to have that service system really skilled up to do this nuanced work is sort of where we're hoping to land. So after that exchange, we've continued to have those relationships with the organisations globally, which has been really important, not just here in Australia, but also connecting with our New Zealand counterparts. So yeah, it's been really powerful to be part of that global network, and meeting new people and getting new ideas, and then adapting that to sort of work for the Australian context. So, you know, I've got some resources I can share in the breakout room if people are interested. Yeah, but we're really keen to just continue this work in upskilling families. So it's sort of like family leadership for employment, but also really keen to work with service systems that are wanting to implement a customised employment approach.